In Blender, there are multiple ways that you can render the effects out, and one way is to use cycle renderer. So you will see that the first thing that you should know is the material setting. So for the material setting is when you set the color and the way that a surface will reflect the light out. And we call it material setting. There are several ways to set up in Blender. The first way is just the basic material setting in the basic Blender. I'm going to show that to you. And another way that we will use mainly in this video is the cycle renderer. Then, because one object, you should apply the same rendering effect. You have to make the decision if you are going to use the normal Blender render or you are going to use the cycle render. And then you have to do material setting. There are a couple steps that you should do. The first thing is you have to set the material property on your surface first. After that, you can adjust or apply more nodes, which we are going to talk about it later in this unit. The last step is when you are going to apply the effects onto your model, which we will not talk that much in this course. After that, let's see what is the cycle renderer. The cycle renderer is the different algorithm that you can apply to provide a good, nice shading in Blender. It's created to support the complex shading, and it will allow you to have the graphical representation of how you are going to shade. We call it the node editing. Then let's see the difference. For example, this picture rendered out by the basic Blender render, and the next one is the picture that I rendered out exactly the same model color setting for this model using cycle renderer. Because the algorithm that they apply to in order to render the output out are different, you will see that the result is also different. Then we are going to have another mode for the shading. We call it the node editor, and the node editor will be available only for the cycle renderer. I'm going to show you how to use it. Then I'm going to show you using this file that's called shading.blend. You can also download it on the website. After you have shading.blend, you will see that in this file, I have one monkey head inside a room, and then I have the light and also camera like this. If you are going to use the basic renderer, I would like you to set, so you will see that this one is the basic renderer. It is the drop-down menu on the top, and the one that we are going to use in this video is the cycle render. Just click on it, but you will not see the difference. You are going to see the difference if you change the viewport shading on, which is the menu on the bottom. If you remember, we talked about it last unit about the viewport shading. Last time you used the texture mode, but this time we are going to use the render mode. So please press on the render mode. And this is the result that give the output using the cycle renderer. On the top is the rendering process. If I change the camera angle, you will see that it will change because it have to recalculate every single time that you move or change camera angle. So let me show you the Blender render. For the Blender render, this is the result that gives you the output from the Blender render. It is very fast, but at the same time, the quality is not that nice, but you still need to calculate something. For example, this one is take like 10 milliseconds to calculate, but for the cycle render, it take quite a couple seconds to do. Okay, then because you are going to work on this mode, which is the output mode, but at the same time, we are going to work using the nodes editing mode. Then before we are going to do that, please try to split the working space. similar to the last unit, you are going to move the mouse onto the corner, which is a nice triangle. And I'm going to split. Then on the left side, I hide the toolbar using T. On the left side, I'm going to use it as the output, like this. On the right hand side, let me hide the bar also. But I'm going to change this one. If you remember in the last unit, we did change it to UV image editor, right? But this time for the shading, we are going to use another editor, which is the node editor. Just click on that. And this is the simple things of the node editor. In order to work on it, you will see that it is currently nothing because first, you have not select any object yet. And second, you have not set a kind of shading or material setting yet. So in order to select objects, you can just simply move your mouse over the monkey head. I'm going to change on monkey head and do the right click to select on it. That is one way, but it is not that clear. So if you remember, we have the area called outliner. The best practice to do is you can select the objects using the outliner, and you will see that the Susanne objects or the monkey head is enabled. It will turn the name of the layer into white. It is meant that you have already selected. Then let me show you how to do the basic normal material setting. If you are going to use Blender renderer, you can set material by going to the material tab, which look like this. It look like a ball, a sphere with some reddish color, and you can just press new material, and you can set the color, which is allow you to set diffuse color. You can just click on it, and I select blue, a little bit purple, and you can select specular. This one is just the color for specular. I set to pink specular, and you can set intensity of it like that. If you remember the thing from your computer graphic class, these are the algorithms or the model that they use to calculate the output result. And yes, you have other things like transparency, shading, like this. But you will see in the result on the left-hand side that the output is not that really nice. That's why I'm going to show you another render engine, which is the cycles render. So after you click, you will see that everything that you have already set, it will get only the diffuse color from the Blender, the basic Blender render mode. Then, if you are going to have the basic adjustment, you can just do like this, but it affects only the diffuse. In order to set the diffuse color in the cycles render mode, you can just click on the diffuse color and you just change it, right? And that is the way that you basically adjust it. But that is not the power of the cycle render. The power of the cycle render is when you apply the nodes in. So you just click in the surface area, you just click on the use node, and you will see that the thing that is quite different that the nodes have just add in. And we are going to talk about this in detail in the next video. Then let's see how could you really use the power of node in the cycles renderer in next video.